This show is sponsored in part by Compass for Conduct Disorder, a 501c3 nonprofit organization offering support for those living with conduct disorder. To make a donation or find out more about conduct disorder, visit www.compassforcd.org. Hey, 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 it's your girl Lisa May, and we are back with you once again on Lip Service Live. If you have been following the show, you know that Lip Service normally has myself and two co-hosts. Well, it's just me today. I'm flying solo, and I have kidnapped two people who were here for a previous show. I said, you know what? Come on and be on the show. And they were so kind enough to say, okay, we will be on the show. So I want to thank my special guest, Yameki Herman, and her president of her organization, Cassandra. And what is your last name, Cassandra?
Fry.
Cassandra Fry. They are here with me today. We're going to talk all about their organization and the things they're doing, the wonderful things they're doing in the community. And perhaps they were the people I was supposed to talk to today. You know, sometimes it just work out like that. You never know. But I learned that, you know what, go with the flow. That's how you get your blessings. Yeah. So we're going to continue on loud. I just wanted to say this because it wouldn't be right if I didn't. Bye, Lakers won! Hey, hey, hey. So it is Laker Nation. I hope you caught it last night. The Lake Show. We did the thing. So we are going into the finals. And I just need to let you know, don't worry, we're going to win it all this year. This has been the most I have been excited about the Lakers in years. Probably because I'm still grieving the death of Kobe Bryant. And we just feel like we need to do this for Kobe. So I am so excited that my Lakers won. Now, I was going to wear my Laker gear today, but I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But that's all right. When we win the championship, don't even much worry about it. I'm going to have all my purple and gold on just for you so you can get all up in your feelings. But for right now, we're going to talk about our special guests who are here today because, as you know, October is right around the corner, and it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And a lot of us that are in this field of advocacy and speaking about domestic violence awareness are not just here by chance. We are here because we are survivors of domestic violence. So I'm so pleased to have them here today to talk about their organization just in time for domestic violence awareness, because sometimes you have your little money set aside and you know you're going to support a domestic violence awareness organization. So get your checkbooks out. I have the perfect organization for you to support this coming Domestic Violence Awareness Month. All right, you maybe tell us all about your organization.
I'm sorry. Hi guys, my name is Yumiko Harmon, and I'm the founder of Reviving and Restoring Pearls Domestic Violence Organization. And we're a team. Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
We do what's need to be done. We help ladies, even men, out in situations where we can put them in a safe place, give them food, give them clothing. And whatever's necessary. If we have to travel to another state to bring them there, we're going to do that.
Absolutely. And that is so needed. As a survivor of domestic violence, I know and I am aware that sometimes the help is just not there. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter how you try to reach out. It doesn't matter who you call. Sometimes the shelters are full. Sometimes your family don't have room for you. Sometimes people just don't believe you.
Exactly.
So the help is not there. So I already know the answer to this, but for the listeners, what inspired you to do this, to start this organization and find innovative ways to help women out of these situations?
I got involved with you. Because you have Cultivate Courage, is a domestic violence organization. That's what inspired me, because especially the Saturday talks that you would host it for the ladies.
Yes.
Just different things.
Yes. Well, Cultivate Courage is, something that is really close to my heart. I put it on the shelf, but we are coming back in 2021. We already have a major announcement when we do come back, so I'm feeling very great about that. But another 501c3 nonprofit organization that advocates for survivors of domestic violence. So yes, you were a part of the organization.
You have to come back. You did a lot. I mean, it helped me a lot because I didn't. Nobody really knew I was a drug dealer or anything, and you didn't know until I came out and told you about it. So that helped. That's kind of like it was a healing process. Someone that I could talk to and listen and not judge me.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? Right. Somebody you can talk to and listen and not be judged.
Yeah.
We got some stuff going on behind the scenes, y'all. And I'm trying to play it off. I ain't really that good at that. So let's get back to the topic at hand. Yes, so a domestic violence organization, and you started your own. I really love this because that is why we do what we do. I've always felt like great leaders groom other leaders. Mm-hmm. You don't be a great leader, then everybody underneath your leadership just stay where they are. They become leaders of their own organization. They become leaders of their own thing. That is a sign of greatness. If you lead, then and your people not growing, and all they do is sit and do what you do and follow what in your steps, then what is that? That's like having your own little army of mini-me's. Right. And that don't help nobody, especially when they have the calling on their life to lead. Exactly. And that is where you have to be able to let go and let people go and spread their wings and do their thing. So I'm very proud of you because I always saw it on you and I knew that this was something that you needed to do.
And you always told me that, and I didn't see it. You seen it, but I didn't see it, because I don't like to talk. That's why I push everything on Cassandra. I don't like to talk. I like to do. I like to go out and do it.
Yeah, and you're really good at going out and getting it done. She will get it done. If you need anything done, trust and believe. All you got to do is put it in her hands. She will get it done. She knows how to make things happen. But now you have Cassandra with you who can be more talkative. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Cassandra.
My name is Cassandra Fry. I am actually the president of Revive and Restoring Pearls. I've been the president for the last 2 years. Came on board because God gave me an assignment, and my assignment was to make sure that I aided and assisted in every way that God put upon me to make sure that the vision He gave her came to fruition. And so I stand by her side 150%. I will walk through fire with her if I have to make sure that if there's a lady in need, that lady is helped. If there is a man that is being abused, is in need, then he's being helped. So a little bit about me. I am a domestic violence survivor myself. Experienced it at a young age from my mother's first husband, and then experienced it again once I was dealing with my daughter's father. My ex was not physically abusive, but he was mentally and emotionally abusive at times. And so I've dealt with it in many ways. I actually was speaking to Dimiki, and we were talking about some things, and I would like for it to be known that Revival Restoring Pearls stand for breaking the generational curses of domestic violence.
And there's a really good point that you bring up, because a lot of times it is a generational curse. A lot of times it is learned behavior. A lot of times it's people that don't even know they're being violated because they watched it their whole life. So that's a very good point that you bring up.
It's about, like Nikki said, it's about helping the women. And one way we can also help the women up to date, as well as our younger women, is to educate them. Is to educate them and to give them the information they need to know the warning signs, things to look for, because sometimes it can come out of the blue.
Right.
Always know and understand if it happens once, it'll happen again.
And this is the thing that you really have to know.
Yes.
And the sad part about it is if you have been exposed to abusive relationships, sometimes you're a little slow to it. And, no shade, but sometimes it'll go right over your head. And you'll think, that wasn't no big deal. So he slammed the door. So he yelled at me. So he threw my coffee cup and broke it. But other people are like, what are you talking about?
So
It's not normal.
he kicked my cat. No,
Yes.
I love my cat. So
Yes.
and seriously,
Yes.
he can't control me. So he's gonna abuse my animal, and
Right.
that is a sign.
That is a huge
Yes.
sign.
That's a sign.
And
And then it escalates.
Yes, it does escalate. And I'm going to tell you something. This is something that I have to say because I tell women this all the time. You have to be so strong in who you are and
Mhm.
know who you are.
Mhm.
Have your identity firmly known to you and know that you are God's creation. You cannot
Yes.
allow anybody, and I mean anybody,
Yes.
to
Yes.
bring their mess
Yes.
into your life.
Yes.
One thing that I know we are seeing a lot in the media and a lot in our own lives now more than anything is mental abuse,
Yes.
gaslighting,
Yes.
manipulation,
Mhm.
turning situations around on
Mhm.
you, making you feel
Mhm.
like you crazy.
Yes.
And it happens very quickly. And that's the reason why I am coming back with Cultivate Courage with a whole new insight on
Mhm.
how to prevent domestic
Mhm.
violence because you got to nip it in the bud.
But yes.
See, here's one thing that I noticed, even in dating,
Mhm.
women get caught up in toxic relationships because they don't recognize the early signs. And one of the earliest signs is if a man don't even know you
Mhm.
and comes into your life and find all these things you need to change, adios, you're not the one for me. Because
Mhm.
now you're trying to play me. Now you're trying to open a door for you to abuse me. You don't even know me.
You open the door to try and control me.
Control
You're trying
me.
to make me into what you want.
Yes,
not to
manipulate
what
me,
I am.
have me questioning myself.
Mhm.
And I can almost see it if you're a teenager because you're not fully formed yet. You don't even really know. But if you're 40 plus, don't allow nobody to come into your life and tell you that you need to rearrange this, you need to change. No. Because the blueprint for this was created in 1972, baby. It's 2020. Ain't nothing much you can do with this foundation that's firm. Okay? So I think that that's what we need to really teach people is that you got to know yourself.
Mhm.
And don't be afraid to be alone.
Mm.
Don't be afraid to be alone. That's
Mhm.
another thing that people use. You know, when people say, "Oh, you still single?" Yes, I still am. And may be single forever before I be mistreated.
Yes.
Before you remove this crown off my
Yes.
head,
Yes.
I'll be single forever.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I won't allow anybody to take me out of my spot and remove me from my throne. It's okay to reign alone. And you got to be comfortable. And
In
that's
that
what
alone
happens with a
time.
lot of people.
You got to be comfortable in that alone time because in that alone time is where you find the meaning of our organization.
Yes.
Of our organization, which is Reviving Restoring Pearls.
You can't really be
You
revived.
find that in that alone time because
Yes.
during that alone time is when you with God.
Yes.
That's when you're supposed to be with God.
But it was rough. It was rough
can be rough.
for the first year, Lisa. It
Mhm.
was rough because God didn't put those people in my life. I put those people in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When I tell you, I went through the ringer.
Oh, she's talking about the first year of the organization.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Listen. You talking to you already know. I can preach a sermon on that and get off.
I said, God, if they not meant to be here, remove them. The next morning, I woke up out by myself.
Yes, that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But when I allowed that to happen, things started happening.
Yes, you start getting your blessings.
And then you really sit back and look and say, wow, they were never for me.
Well, you know, sometimes people get caught up in the spotlight. People want to be seen because they see you being seen. And see, that happens to me all the time. People want to be seen. They want to come into my space because they know I'm being seen, so they want to come in and be seen. But the thing about it, for me, I didn't give myself this spotlight. Because if it was up to me, I'd turn it off. Believe me. I'd be somewhere with me a little boy toy, enjoying life. Enjoying life. But when you got a call on your life, you got to do. And sometimes the spotlight just follow you. It don't even matter what you do. It don't even matter what you do. So when you put in that position, you just got to be aware of the coattail riders.
Yeah.
Because they out there.
I've learned. And one thing about Lisa's organization, which I truly enjoyed, was we had, it was a release of your song.
Yes, yes. And we are going to be playing that here on Lisa Dene Live for the entire month of
Beautiful
October.
song. Oh my God, I fell in love with this song. And you know how when you walking on the runway and you have to turn and do this and do that. I never knew how to do that until that night we had to wear ball gowns, and I learned how to do it.
You learned how to
Oh,
strut.
we did
I was
that.
trying.
We did do that. Yes.
Kendra didn't have nothing on me, baby, when I tore that dress.
Right. But it's all about
Yes.
just knowing who you are,
Mhm.
embracing your beauty, embracing the truth of who you are. And once you know who you are, nobody can bring you down. Nobody can bring you down. Unfortunately, we have people in this world that have been so hurt in their own life
Yeah.
that they come into your life and try to hurt you.
Yes.
And you just have to be on guard for it. You have to be
Yes.
aware that everybody that's in your face not for you.
Exactly.
And that's even in relationships.
Yes.
Yes.
And I
everybody
find that-
smiles at your face don't mean you well.
Yes, I find that, I always get in trouble on my shows because I'm telling all my business and all the business of people who trying to have some of my business. But, I find being a single woman, men pursue me. And the funny thing about it is they leave the race quick because I let them know, first of all, I'm a fully formed individual. I'm not nobody's child anymore. I'm a fully formed adult woman. Yeah, at the end, yeah, thank you. I'm a fully formed adult woman, and you don't have to come in here and rearrange my life or change me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that's how you have to live your life. That's how you
Right.
gotta be.
Right. Right.
But you know what? And early on the other show, I apologize, and I needed to that because my growth was being stunted until I do that. Because anytime that I allow pride to get
Mm-hmm.
above me, then I have a problem within myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could never find any reason why I was like that. But you've helped me a lot, and you've taught me a lot, and I pray that you continue teaching me a lot. I said a lot a long time.
Yes.
Continue teaching me what I don't know.
Well, we have to teach each other.
Yes.
And, you used to say all the time, each one teach one, each one reach one.
Yes.
And that is what it's all about. We learn so much from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I learned from you is that you could hear something one time and then you go with it. You go and take it and you don't sit on it. Some people will talk about, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And 5 years later, you meet them and they still saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. If you say, I'm going to do this, and you call you 2 days later, oh, girl, it's already done. And that is what you bring to the organization. So if you know somebody who is in need of assistance or is in an abusive relationship, reach out to Reviving and Restoring Pearls.
Yes.
Because when I tell you that this is a woman of action and her president has got to be like her or she wouldn't be a part of it. So she's got to be a woman of action too.
Yes, ma'am.
All your information will be confidential.
Yes, ma'am.
It will not be shared with anyone. These are professional people.
Yes.
And not only are they professionals, they have lived it. And so they know how it feels. Sometimes when you go to a shelter and you're just dealing with social workers. So they went to school for this, but they don't know what it feels like.
Exactly.
It's totally different when you've been there and you know even the small things about how this feels.
Yes.
Like how embarrassed you may be sometimes just to talk about it.
Yes.
And how every now and then you'll get a flashback and you thought you was over it. And something could just trigger you and you back.
And that's a key word to mention right there is that when dealing with domestic violence survivors, you have to be mindful of triggers.
Yes.
You have to be mindful of triggers. And the only way you can really know those is you have to learn them and understand that sometimes it's not, a fist being raised at you. It could just be a word or a phrase.
Right.
Or a look.
Or a phrase or a look.
And you know what? It can even be a smell. It
Yes,
can be the cologne that the person used to wear.
It can.
Or, the fragrance that was in the air when it was happening to you.
Yeah.
And so people have to be mindful of those things. And one other thing I really feel like I have to say too, because domestic violence awareness is coming up, you cannot share your story with everybody.
Say that.
Because some people, all right, we got some harmony in here. Say that. Some people will take it and use it against you. Some people will take it and try to find a way. Oh, if she took that, well then I know she's gonna take this.
Exactly.
Or they'll throw it up in your face. Or they'll think they're gonna treat you. Yes, they can treat you some kind of way because they know your past. So you gotta be very selective in who you share your personal and your, you all are public speakers, so you speak to the public, but at the same time, when you're speaking to the public, you're not giving them all.
Exactly.
You can't give them all.
Can't give them all.
But when you let someone in your life as a mate or as a friend, that word that we use so loosely, as a friend, you give them the details that you didn't tell nobody. You share your heart and how bad it hurt you and these things that you went through. And the next thing you know, they didn't share it with some other folks that you didn't necessarily need to have that information.
You get a text or a phone call saying, well, girl, why you ain't tell me? I know you weren't meant to know.
Right, and that could be a trigger right there.
And that throws you right back into that defense mode. Not trusting people.
I was going to say, that's another form of betrayal.
Yes.
And, I want to say this, Lisa. We have a gentleman on our team. His name is Damon Coleman.
All right.
And he's the CFO. And Damon is awesome. What Damon does, if a lady has to go to court, he will make sure she goes to court and make sure that gentleman is prosecuted to the fullest. Awesome. To the fullest. And like I said, Candace Joseph, the consulting firm, she's the business end of it because I like to do the hands-on.
Yes, that's amazing. You sound like you have a really strong team, and hopefully sometime in the future we will have them all come, because I think it's just amazing what you have been able to build in a short period of time. That's a testament to the fact that this is something that should be done. Yes. This is something that was already destined to happen. So I'm just so proud to know you and to know where you started, because you can't let where you start stop you from getting to where you're supposed to be.
And I was so overprotective of Lisa. Lisa would tell you.
Not that I needed it.
Yeah, but I was just.
And that's what we need. Any survivor. That's what we need. Any survivor, whether it's a male or female, to understand and know, which is your past does not define your destiny.
Right.
It does not define your destiny. That's why you get to a point when you are ready to reach out, because we cannot effectively help any survivor or someone who needs to be rescued until they're ready. And once they are ready, make that move. We also do have rescue contracts that we provide.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, it's a 5-page contract which the lady has to sign, Lisa, and whoever she's entrusting that information to. So whenever she leaves, they know where she's at. Okay. And what's going on, and only her and that other person knows what's going on.
That's good.
Because I don't know where the lady is at once the commander gets, once I send him the information, because he won't let me get involved. Okay. He takes care of everything until that lady gets to the hotel I asked him to bring her to. That's all I know. He doesn't because he has to protect females. He's adamant about protecting females and children.
And that's really important, because a lot of children and hey, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but since pandemic began, the domestic violence numbers have skyrocketed. I mean, they have gotten out of control. I have seen, just within my own personal circle, just within my own timeline on social media, people, that I know in real life, that have lost family members to domestic violence during this pandemic. And I lost somebody very close to me this year due to domestic violence. And you just feel like you over it, but it's a very hard pill to swallow when a person that you love was killed by a person that they love.
Right.
It's a very hard pill to swallow.
Right. And you know what? As survivors, why can't we survivors, and now we trying to lead others in the right direction. Why is there no unity? We all fighting for the same purpose.
Well, I really, I'm glad you brought that up, and you are the queen of bringing up the elephant in the room. Because, sometimes you don't really want to discuss stuff like that. But I'm really glad you brought that up. We're going to talk about that just after this message. Are you sick of steroid creams, water-based products, and products full of toxins? We have great news for you. Lizzie's All Natural Products creates fresh, natural, toxin-free products for your home and body, offering products made with real, pure, simple, plant-based ingredients that are good for your skin from head to toe. Lizzie's believes that everyone deserves to have access to quality, affordable, and natural products. Visit www.productsbylizzie.com for more information, and be sure to use the promo code STUNNER at checkout. Yes, indeed. Products by Lizzie. Thank you so much for that. Our sponsor, Products by Lizzie. Please check them out. So now we're going to get into this hot topic, this discussion. Why is it that people that are advocating for victims and survivors of domestic violence, all within the same community, cannot work together? That is a very good question. So I think it's because not everybody's in it for the right motive. Not everybody's in it for the same reason.
I need to hear you say that, because that's what the conclusion I come to.
Yeah.
That's what I come to.
Yeah, because when you're in it to help people, you don't care if your name on stuff. You don't care if you get to speak. You don't care if people know about your organization. See, the funny thing is, a lot of people ask me, well, what happened to Cultivate Courage? Cultivate Courage is still around because Lisa Danae's still around. So I don't have to be out in the forefront to help people because it's in my heart.
Right.
It's in my heart. People come to me because they know me and they know what I've been through. They know that I can lead them in the right direction. I do that off camera. I do that out without people watching because it's about helping the individual.
Exactly.
It's not about me.
Yes.
And it's not even about my organization. It's about helping a young woman or a young man. And the thing that God has blessed me with is to have the ear of men. And at first I was like, why? Yes. Why do these men come to me and inbox me, DM me? And some of them say, you're the only person I've ever told this to. My wife don't even know. And at first I felt weird, like, oh, I don't want to be the person to know. But then I realized if you can help somebody, it doesn't matter. It's not about you. So I had to get out of my feelings about these men coming to me in the inbox. And I had to realize that, okay, maybe they were drawn for one reason, but then they're going to get help for another reason. Because a lot of people forget about the men. They forget that men are abused too. They forget that men are neglected. Men are women put hands on men.
Exactly, because my first speaking event was in Austin, and a pastor was on the panel. He was a survivor. And what I want to tell you, that's a charge on your life that you are to hear the men, because nobody hears. And then another thing is, no one wants to go into the not so well community to help ladies.
Right.
If you're not in a certain community of certain social status, nobody wants to help you. But in the end, we all need help.
Yes, yes. And if you only want to help people that look good and look like you, and that you can put on your live feed, then you're in it for the wrong reason.
Exactly.
Yes. Then you shouldn't really even be doing this.
And I see that a lot, and Lisa, you don't even know how it gets my goat. I tell Cassandra all the time, and I said it earlier and I'll say it again. We as survivors are not circus monkeys you can put on stage and sell a ticket.
Yes, I'm so happy that you said that, because I had spoken at a conference. And there was a lady that, a lot of conferences do these panels. And they have survivor panels. They have survivors that are all speaking one after another. So there was a lady, and I told a portion of my story. And there was a lady that spoke after me. And as soon as she started speaking, she said, well, I'm not here to tell no horror story. And pointed at me and said, horror story. And I felt like, wow, okay, first of all, this is my life you're talking about.
Right.
And I was vulnerable and open enough to share this. And you're going to make light of it by saying horror story.
Mhm.
And that was the turning point for me on speaking on all these things.
You know what? When I first heard Lisa's story,
Mhm.
I literally got sick to my stomach to know that someone as a kid would go through what you went through.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough childhood, but one thing about it, it made me a tough cookie.
Mhm.
Tough cookie is hard to break.
And if you're not doing anything on October 24th, we're having I haven't come up with the name of it yet, but we're gonna be at Clear Lake Park.
Okay.
Past NASA, and a friend of mine, Miss D Jones, has a boat.
Okay. Wow,
So-
y'all love these boats. I love boats too. Listen, we're in the right way. You in the right company.
We're gonna be fishing. We're gonna be crabbing. We're gonna. It's more so of meetings of the minds of ladies that have organizations on how we can help each other.
I really like that because when you mention that, why is it that we don't work together? Why there's not a lot of collaborations? Because we're all working for the same. We should be working for the same goal. And I think that we have to learn, and this is hard for survivors, but you have to learn how to trust. You can't be so scared that somebody's gonna take your idea. See, this is my thing. Who gave you the idea?
Ah!
If God gave you the idea, and you don't run out of ideas, so make them have it. If they want to take it that bad, just give them your blessing. Go ahead and take it.
Maybe it was meant for you to share.
Maybe it was meant for you to have it anyway.
Thank you.
Because if you're going to help somebody with it, I don't bother me. Go ahead and do it. But we get so caught up in our own personal trust issues.
Mhm.
I don't want to really tell nobody what I'm doing in my organization. I want them to steal my program. If your program is going to help you, what difference does it make? If it's going to help women, if it's going to help children out there, and you don't have no shortage on insight and ideas when you God sent, you don't have to worry about that. You're going to have a million ideas. First of all, I tell people, not to be cocky, but I can forget more ideas that I had that you ever came up with. So don't even much worry about taking my idea. You can go and take it.
Use it.
Free of charge.
Mhm.
Because it's a million more where them came from because my heart is in the right place.
Right.
So I feel like you have to be open to working with people.
Mhm.
You have to keep your eyes on the focus of your organization. I used to say this all the time with Cultivate Courage. What is the mission? The
Mhm.
mission is to help survivors.
Yes.
And if we are not helping survivors with every event we do, we need to shut them down. Because
Mhm.
I'm not here for a photo op.
Mhm.
And I tell people that all the time. I'm not here for a photo op, baby. I used to do modeling.
Glory.
I'm a singer. I don't need the domestic violence month
In
for
order
a
to
photo
say-
op.
Yes. Yes.
My everyday is a photo op.
Mhm.
But
Just
you
in
know
case
what?
you didn't know.
But
So I think other people though, they
Mhm.
get into it for these wrong reasons.
Mhm.
And then they don't want to work with you because they scared you're going to shine brighter.
Mhm.
Diamond, like a diamond. I had to say that. But yes, that morning, the first part of the morning, like I said, meeting of the minds, how we can help each other.
Well, I'm all in for it. I'm always down to collaborate. I'm always available to give my time to the cause because I know that's part of the reason why I'm still alive. And that's why I take it so personally because I know beyond any shadow of a doubt that I am not supposed to be here. I know that. I know that I'm here for a very specific purpose. And that's why I can't allow people to get me off track.
Mhm.
Because I'm standing
Mhm.
here on borrowed time.
Mhm.
I'm standing here on time that was not supposed to be.
Mhm.
And so if my creator allowed me to have this time, I ain't gonna use it trying to compete with you. My time is too precious. I could have been gone out of here.
Right.
I remember, and that's why I love Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Child Abuse Awareness Month, because it helps me to really, some people see, they can't see past the MAC makeup, they can't see past the Maybelline. But I let them know all the time, oh, it's a lot behind this.
Right.
I didn't
Right.
get to where I am by chance.
Right.
My struggle has been bought and paid for.
With the
So
price.
with a huge price.
Right.
And it was times when I remember being in high school, I never could see being 21. I didn't think I was going to live to be 21. 21. I thought, when I made 21, I said, oh, look at God. Well, maybe I may see 25.
Mhm.
But listen, I'm 48
Mhm.
and going to make it to 88. I'm gonna die of old age whenever I die. I'm just letting you know of old age because I am taking my calling very, very serious, and I encourage everybody to do that. You can't, if you have a calling, you have an organization, don't get caught up in the glitzy part of it. You need to stay focused on your mission.
That's why I said we're going back to the original plan. We'll go back to the original plan.
Okay.
And that's not my plan, that's God's plan. That's
Always
what
has
we're going
been.
back to.
Yes, because your voice needs to be heard, your story needs to be heard. You know, people need to learn from you and from what you did. They don't have to have the bumps and bruises that you had because you already have. And now you can prevent them from having them, and that's a blessing.
Right.
Yeah, we have a voice, just not just an echo.
Oh, I like that. Not just
I have a voice, not just an echo.
Oh yeah,
that is actually a saying that we have associated with our organization.
That's
is
beautiful.
And we actually have it on some masks, but it is, and on some t-shirts, but it is one that we actually try to live by and let it be known is that we have a voice. We're not just an echo.
Yes.
We're not going away. We're not going to fade away. You're not going to hear us whispered in the corner. We're going to speak loudly and boldly.
I know that's right because your path, your walk been bought and paid for before they even saw. You know, people come in on this chapter and think they know it all.
Yes.
But there's several chapters of this book that have been written before you even came in on this chapter.
Yes.
And there's some blood, sweat, and tears in them chapters. So we're gonna we gotta let a few more minutes in our segment, and I want you guys to tell people how they can reach you, your social media tags, and all of that.
Okay, so I will start with the social media side. You can reach Reviving and Restoring Pearls. We have a Facebook page that is called Reviving and Restoring Pearls.
Okay.
We also are on Instagram, which is Raw Blessings. We both can be reached on Facebook through our individual Facebook pages. So hers is Unique Harmon, mine is Cassandra Fry. You can give the number
713-398-9025.
Yes.
Or you can email us at www.revivingrestoringpearls2@gmail.com.
And that's the number 2.
All right, Reviving, Restoring Pearls, the number 2 at gmail.com.
Yes,
and if you want to make a donation, get in touch with these ladies.
Yes.
There's always money needed to do any type of programming. You can't do it for free. Even, you know, what you give to the women, they need always need help, always need donations, always need people who are willing to lend a hand. So if you are looking for something to do, if you have an extra $10, $15, $20 a month, go ahead and reach out to these ladies. They'll put it to good use.
Yes,
and so we are going to take a little pause for the cause. We'll be right back. I want to give people some relationship advice for a survivor of domestic violence.
Yes.
Be unique, be seen, be remembered with custom apparel and personalized gifts from A Touch of Honey by Chantel, specializing in rhinestone designs, bling, glitter, photo print, and much more. And if you're having a party, A Touch of Honey by Chantel offers amazing balloon displays and personalized party favors. Visit their website at www.touchohoney.com and tell them Stoner Radio sent you. We're back, you guys, and we're going to be talking about relationship advice, how to date post abusive relationship. So when you have gotten out of an abusive relationship, don't feel like your life is over. Don't feel like, okay, that was very, traumatizing. Once you have received counseling and you have gotten healed, you're ready to get back out there. Let's share with them some tips because, it's a scary thing. When you, what you were saying, Bucky?
I'm single, so I don't have any tips.
You don't have no tips.
I don't have no tips. I'm single. Cassandra, do you have any tips?
Yes. The first one is if you're a domestic violence survivor, you have to first be happy and love on yourself.
Yes.
That is the first thing.
Yes.
That is the first thing because how you love on yourself will show the right person how to love you.
Absolutely.
So you have to love on yourself. That's one. That's number one. A lot of domestic violence survivors tend to have trust issues. Mm-hmm. My advice would be look at their actions. Mm-hmm. we tend to, even as a survivor, want to lead with our heart. But if they're true to who they are and mean you well, their actions will show that.
Right.
So trust their actions when you see it. Don't second guess yourself by saying, oh, well, you know what? That was just that one time. Sometimes one time leads to five.
Right.
All right. So trust your eyes when you see the actions. Their actions should definitely replicate their intent.
Yes, that's really good. And I love what you said about trust issues. And that leads me to one of the tips I like to give people. Take it slow.
Yes.
Do not let people rush you into nothing. It's so funny, in the dating world nowadays, everybody wants something overnight. It take you on one day, the next thing you know, they at Jared. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Did you say Jared? Yes. They at Jared. You're like, well, hold on now. I'm like Jared. And I'm like what Jared got to offer, but I'm not yet sure I like you. We've only been on one day.
Right.
So don't let anybody push you into nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Take it slow, especially if you're a survivor.
Yes, take your time.
Yes, you gotta
Take
take
your
it
time.
slow.
Mhm.
I mean, I really have been surprised. I say this all the time, guys. How you know? You say, well, you the one. How you know?
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know me.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I might be the one today. Tomorrow,
Mine-
you gonna meet the other side.
Yeah, you like, who told you that? Well, God didn't tell me that. So no. See, because he speak to me like he speaks to you.
Right.
So we don't have the same message. Something is not right.
Somebody talking to a different God. Yes, indeed. You gotta take it slow. You
Yes,
cannot let nobody pressure you and rush you. Especially if you're getting out of something
Mhm.
and you're trying to just allow yourself to love again. You just gotta take your time. Don't rush. Now, this next tip. Now, trust me when I say this ain't for everybody,
Mhm.
but I have to put it out there for certain people.
Mhm.
Now, I've given this tip a lot, and a lot of people call me on it and say, wait a minute. I don't know about that advice. But see, I know my people, okay? So this is for my people. Y'all know who you are. Don't get in a relationship just for sex. If you are one of those women that got needs and you got a high sex drive, it's a certain thing called a baby's man. And you have to be aware of the fact that some men are down for the cause. They will be there for you for maintenance. And I mean regular maintenance.
You know what?
You don't have to have no relationship with them. Listen, this is real talk. You don't have to have no relationship with them. You just need to be maintenance. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Just
I don't want a maintenance man. If I can have a true relationship where he can lead God and cover me the way he's supposed to cover me, and I be his peace and cover him also, maintenance man can stay where he is.
That's why I said it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. But let me tell you something. I know my people. There's some people out there, they say, yeah, I could be his peace and all of that. But right now I need some relief. Right now I need some comfort. Right now I need some warmth in the time of struggle.
Well, I'm going to get
I need somebody in the midnight hour.
some hot chocolate and I will read a book.
Listen, that might work for you. But some folks need some hot chocolate, but not the same kind you have. I'm talking to them. It ain't no shame in a maintenance man. As long as, look, because we all adults.
Yes.
As long as everybody know what's going on and everybody know up front what it is, I would say it's safer, smarter to get your needs met outside of a relationship when you know you're not ready for a relationship. Don't get in a relationship just because you got physical needs. Because sex can't sustain a relationship. And before you know it, you got all these people that you done went through because you really just needed some relief. You really just had an itch that needed to be scratched.
And you're
human.
You done picked up all them doggone souls in the process of going through all them people.
When you could have just had a regular degular.
Yes.
Somebody who know you.
Now you got a bunch of spirits, and one spirit gonna take on that other spirit.
You could
And you don't know who gonna win.
You could have just had like the older women said, a gentleman caller. You could have just had somebody who know your name, know your address, know your number, know how you like it, when you like it, where you like it. and don't ask no questions and ain't trying to stay for dinner.
Just ring the doorbell.
Believe you me, it will work out for some people. Now I ain't saying I ain't saying I got no experience with it. I'm just saying it works for some people. And that's my tip, because sometimes people do. I know people don't want to admit it, but people do get in relationships because they just got physical needs.
Right.
We are human beings.
Right.
Yes.
We are human beings. All of us desire intimacy. All of us desire physical touch. But you don't have to have no full-fledged relationship just to be touched and caressed. You just need to have an understanding. So go on and get your understanding and have peace. Like I said, this advice ain't for everybody.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But those of you who know, you know it's for you. So go and take it and run with it and be blessed. Yes, and we're going to come back right after this. We have a commercial for you. We'll be right back. Are you enjoying the show? Great, glad to hear it. Show your love for your favorite Stunner Radio show. Coffee mugs and more. Visit our store at www.stunnerradio.com to get your Stunner merch today. We have urban talk radio.
Stand by 5 seconds.
And all those who value diversity. Stunner Radio is the heart and soul of the culture. Thank you so much for being with us. We have had a great time with our special guest, Shemeki Harmon, and her president of her organization, Cassandra Fry. You guys, go ahead and wrap it up for us, since domestic violence awareness is around the corner. Go ahead and tell us again your mission of your organization, how we can reach you, and everything that you need from the community to help support what you're doing and your upcoming event as well.
Okay, so again, our organization is Reviving Restoring Pearls. Our mission is to reach one, teach one, especially when it comes to women or men that are domestic violence survivors or in a domestic violence situation.
Yes.
We do offer and provide extraction if we can. That person has to also be ready. We do take donations because we have partnered with a shelter, so we do take donations for clothing, hygiene items, things of that nature for women, men, and children.
All right.
Our next event will be on October 3rd, which is our second annual domestic violence conversation cruise, where we will be leaving out of South Shore Harbor
Yacht Club,
and we'll go around the Kima Bay area for a few hours. It's a good opportunity for fellowship, inspiration, and encouragement. We will have some powerful speakers there. We have about 4 speakers on deck right now. We also will have Leo Rich emceeing and doing the comedy and music for us.
Lisa's one of the special guests. And also October 16th, I'm going to be leaving to go to Georgia because I've been invited to climb Stone Mountain.
All right.
For domestic violence.
Oh, that's awesome. So you have a lot going on in October. Hopefully, maybe toward the end of the month, we can have you come back and do a recap on all the wonderful things you have done for the month. And just for my listeners, we do have some new merch that is on my website. Go to lisadene.com. I have some merch for domestic violence awareness. You can get your shirt, you can get your coffee mugs, you can get your things that go along with my song, Love Myself More. Now, as we leave today, we're not going to play that song, so we're going to have that one queued up, but I do have another song that we are going to play for you today as we exit the program. Before we do that, I want to just encourage you to visit our website at stunnerradio.com. Please go to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe, and go to my website, lisadene.com, for all my merch and any information about where I'm going to be next. And with that being said, we'll see you next week, and just enjoy my latest single called Smoke. This is featuring David Cadence, which is also my son. So I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay, something happened with the song. Let me see if I can.
Your oldest son?
It played yesterday, but I didn't play today.